Hey everybody, this is Traveling with the Tompkins and I'm John and wanted to give you guys some tips on some shock absorbers. So I have a 2013 Chevy Silverado. It's a 3500. It's the LML diesel engine. And today I am replacing the shocks on the back and on the front. So quick tips, stuff like that. If you're from up north, it's maybe a little harder. Down here in the south, it's not as bad getting these bolts off. So I actually took one off and then I realized, hey, I might want to video this for you guys in case any of you have questions. So I am going to be replacing the originals with the Bilsteins. So I got my front ones here and I've got my back ones. So the first thing I've noticed when I took this one off is it does not come back. This is my rear shock absorber. And as soon as I took it off, I compressed it and nothing comes back. So I know that thing is shot. So I'm looking forward to putting these on. So underneath here, let's see if I can get this video set up. This was the bottom of my shock absorber. And right here is where the top of it is. Now you can see the bolt here is welded onto the side to make it a lot easier to remove that. So I've got my other one on this side, which we will get to here shortly. So I want to let you know, first things first, is I do not have to jack this truck up to get these out. So hopefully you can see me here. I am gonna end up getting these new ones under here. I'm gonna do like a time-lapse thing or something like that. But the only thing you may have to do when you put these new ones up is compress them a little bit to get your bolts to line up right here. So you're gonna end up putting your top in first, and then once your top's in, get your bottom set up. And if you have to, you can always put something on the bottom of this to compress it up. It's actually not that hard. You can pretty much do them by hand. You can see there how much flex I've gotten out of that one. Then you've got a second or two to get it back on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and bolt this one up in there, and I'll let you guys take a shot at it. It took me maybe 8 minutes to get the old one out. The fronts will be a little bit harder, and we'll end up having to jack that up most likely. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's see if I can get you some good shots of me doing this. That was close. All right, so now my bottom, as you can see, I'm a little off here, but that's all right. I'm just gonna push it up in there. It's not too bad. And we are gonna line it up and make this thing work out. Look at that, not too bad. And it's in. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and torque these up, and I'll give you the numbers here in a few minutes, but that's number one done, so there you go. Okay, so I'm back with you now, and my torque ratio is gonna be 33 foot-pounds. So we're gonna go ahead and torque these down. I can get that on there. There we go. Okay, so that one's good. Now, okay. So according to the instructions in the Bilstein paperwork, 33 foot-pounds of torque is my dead on, and that's where we're at. So we are completely done this first shock, and now I can go ahead and take this off. That was there just to have it so I didn't have to compress it quite as far. All right, guys, on to the next one, and we will see you in a few minutes with that guy. We're back. Now it's time for this guy to go, okay? All right. Again, I have not jacked the truck up. I'm just down on some carpet, and I'm gonna pull this sucker out. This one shouldn't be as bad. A little more room to work on it. Okay. We'll go ahead and break this loose a little bit. It's my daughter Madison checking everything out, learning, trying to catch on at a young age. And here we go. The awesome thing about this is very minor surface rust. So, well, with that being said, makes these bolts very easy to take off. Now I do have a jack that I could jack the truck up, and I'll jack up the front end, but I wanted to show everybody how easy it is to do the backs without jacking it up. Oh, almost had it. All right. Bolts off that one. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the bolt out of this one. And that's number one. One more bolt on the top, and we will be free. Hey, it's perfect time while you're down here too. Go ahead, feel around, grab around, make sure you don't have any loose heat shields or anything. I just had a problem with one of those. Turned out the dealership that did some work on my truck took off the skid plate in the front and never put some of the bolts back in it. So I had ringing and tinging and bouncing and all kinds of noise going on. It took me a little while to figure it out. Went ahead, I was gonna go back to the dealership and put up a stink, but I was like, for $5, I just go get a new bolt, put it in there, be done. So things happen, assuming they did everything else right. So I did kind of do a little overview and make sure things were good once I left there. Usually I work on my own truck, but sometimes when you're traveling and you're doing stuff, it's not as easy. I think this bolt's just about out, pretty loose here. I think we got it. All right, let's pull this sucker out. All right. So close. Thought I had it. My daughter's just sitting here watching. You learning? What are we doing?
You're fixing the truck.
We're fixing the truck? What part of the truck are we fixing? The shocks? Maybe try to give it a little better ride. Okay. Got to be out at this point. All right, spinning easy now. All right. Watch your face, pulling this thing out, and boom, done. Another one out. I'm gonna take this out, bring the new one under. Just out of reach, and we'll get that one put in. There we go. So one way to know, let me get under here and I'll talk to you. So one way to know your shocks are going bad is your tires do something that's called cupping. Usually that's gonna happen on your drive tires. All depends, it can happen anywhere. But I will show you what cupping looks like on these back tires. Basically the treads are uneven. So if you had a camber issue, the inside tread would be worn down, or the outside tread would be worn down, and you'd have, so you're looking at the flat tread, this side would be worn, or this side would be worn. Cupping is more of periodic tread pieces look like they're sticking up and other ones look like they're down. Like the tire is up and down and uneven. That's kind of what cupping looks like, and that's 99% of the time gonna be your shocks. So we're just started noticing it, and I wanna fix it before that happens. So, and if you're wondering why I'm doing this on my own, I think I might have mentioned earlier in the video, but the dealership wanted over $1,000 to do this. I got all these Bilstein shocks, which is way better than what the dealership would have gave me, for $300. Plus, you know, 2 or 3 hours of my day, I think I'll pay myself. You know, think about how much money I just paid myself to do my own shocks. They, you know, I made $700 based on their quote. Got something better. Took me 2 hours. Well, heck. It's got some stuff in my face. I just made a couple $100 an hour. All right, top bolts in.
Look, there's tire pocket daddies all types. That was a lot older than these tires.
All right, start cranking her tight.
Miles, stop bringing toys over here.
Don't be stealing all my tools, kids.
Stop. Stop.
This is my crew watching. Say hi, everybody.
Hi. Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, so we are putting this top bolt back in.
Hi.
We're gonna get it to 33 foot-pounds of torque. For those of you that don't know, this is just a torque wrench. You can adjust the pressure of the pounds per square inch. I'm sure most of you know that, but if not, that's what you use. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it in a tool shop or Home Depot, Lowe's, anything like that. So I love this one. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this bottom bolt in before I tighten the rest of that top one up. All right, here we go.
Stop playing with that. Hey, no. Miles.
Go ahead and sit that there for a second.
Baby.
Hey guys, be nice. All right, new bolt's in. Lock this down, that shock is in. We are done with the backs pretty much once we get this bolts on. Anybody can do this. Super easy. Take that thing off. And we're gonna crank this baby down. Hey guys, please be nice to each other. Apparently my son has soiled his diaper. Hey, why don't you tell Mama? Thank you. Alright, there's 33. Here, click. That's how a torque wrench works. Now I'm gonna get up on here. We're gonna torque up this top end. There we go. Hear that click? You know you're right at the right pressure. So, give you a little zoom on this one. So this is my wrench. And right here, it's just got a little thing you can unscrew, and that lets you move the handle, and then you tighten it up. I've got my measurements right here. And then, oh, hang on. Okay. So right here. So when I get to 30, oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong side, that's why. So
Oh, I'm not gonna let him get the
I'm gonna go to 30. That's it. And that 0 hits 30. That 0 hits 30. Now I'm at 30. And then all I have to do is go 1, 2, 3, and I'm at 33 foot-pounds per torque. And then you're all set, okay? So that's how you get the torque wrench set, and that's how that works. So, all right, I've got my shock on this side now. New shock over there. And we're gonna go ahead and jump to the front, but I'm gonna reset up, and then we'll get back with you guys. So my thing says it took me about 12 minutes to do that shock. So if you think about how much you're paying per minute to that dealership, that's crazy. All right, see you soon. So real quick, these are my old shocks. You can see I compressed this one, and it took literally about 5 minutes to come back. This one still has not come back. So when your shocks don't come back, I mean, they're just done. Like, I can pretty much doing this one-handed, but I can fairly easy push it down. I just bottomed it out, and it should come back a lot quicker than that. And again, like that one still hasn't even come back. So, yep, not hard to, if they got 100,000 miles on them, you might as well replace them. You know, that's the difference in your tires. And you'll see here, you notice the tires. See if I can get a good angle on them. See how some treads are a little higher than others? Does that make sense? On the other tire might show it a little better. This shock was worse. So you can see some are higher, some are lower. That's what they call cupping. Get it early, don't wear your tires out. Got the truck jacked up, and I am under here now trying to get the front shocks out. So right here, you can see the bolts just on top of that. Let me see if I can set this up a little better for you. As you can see, I've already got that one bolt almost halfway out. This is the bolts I'm gonna worry about taking out, and then I'll get down here and take out that bottom bolt down there. And yep, I don't know how I'm gonna really film this one just because I don't have a good angle on it, but I've jacked the truck up and I'm just using a wrench to take these off. So I'll be back shortly. So I know the video on the front was not really anything. I went ahead and just pushed this up in, and I accessed my 2 top bolts to get them off. I used a 22 millimeter to get them off, and then the new Bilstein bolts were a 3/4 to reassemble. And then down in here, same thing. I used my air wrench. I have an electric air wrench right there, our impact, and then so I just took the bottoms off and replaced it. Now these front ones, I had to jack up the front of the truck a little bit just to get my bottom holes to line up, but really just jacked up a couple inches, drop the bolts in, tighten it down, done. So I mean, literally 3 bolts, 6 bolts, 7, 8, 9, 10 bolts total, and you're done. Took me a little under an hour and a half maybe to do all 4. So I just saved myself $700. So go ahead, save yourself some money, get it done. My next video is going to be installing a 12-volt DC plug in the back and bed of my truck for some it's a refrigerator. So stay tuned for that video. Go ahead and comment, like, share. Hope you guys like this. And yeah, new Bilstein shocks installed. All right, guys, talk to you later.